Hey guys, it's Joe, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make melodies sound more human. So like with any MIDI, there are three main things you want to consider when we're trying to make it sound more realistic, and that is where the note starts, the velocity of the note, and how long the note lasts for. So I've just drawn in this melody here, and you can tell it's been drawn in because all of the notes are the exact same velocity. All the notes are the perfect length, so these eighth notes, perfect length, sixteenths, all fine, as are the gaps in between each note. So of course this isn't going to sound human. No human can play it perfectly in time with the perfect note length on each part, playing the exact same velocity each time, so it won't sound real. So I'll just play you the melody and then we'll work at trying to make it sound more human. So just a pretty basic synth melody. So when you're trying to make something sound more human, you want to have a good idea in your head about how you actually want it to sound. So how you would actually play it. Now for this, I want these first three notes to be a bit stronger. It's the start of the melody. I want it to have a bit of punch to it. So I'm just going to select all of these and increase the velocity by about 20 or so. And then for the last four notes, I want that to be a little bit weaker. So then again, when the melody starts over, then it's going to sound even stronger. So I'll select all of these and drop them down a bit as well. Now for our middle section, I want that to have a little bit of groove to it. So for these two notes together here, I want that first one to be a little bit weaker, and then the second note to come in on a bit of a push. So select the first one, drop that down a little bit, and then bring the second one up a little bit. Now on this one I want it the other way around, so first one up a little bit, second one down a little bit. And on our last few, I want the first note to be stronger again, and then the second note to sound more almost like a passing note, but just a little bit louder than that, so just drop that down too, and then leave the last one where it is. So with this, we essentially have our foundation and rough idea of what we want the velocities to be like in our melody. So we have our strong start, our quieter finish, and our groovy middle part. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go up into functions, down over to MIDI transform, and onto humanize. And what we can do here is essentially randomize some of the parameters I mentioned earlier. So here we can change the position, the velocity, and the length of each note in a seemingly random way. So on this we can change the numbers here for how much we actually want to change the values by. So at the moment on the velocity, for example, we've just got 10. So this is going to go up or down to plus or minus 10 in value each time we want to use it. Similarly for length and position, it will change it by a value of 10 or however much we want to set it to. Now for this, I'm actually going to turn the position off because it's a kind of a dancey synth and we want the notes to start on the exact point, but the velocity and length we kind of have a bit of wiggle room with to make it sound a bit more real. So for this, you'll see what I mean. I'm just going to highlight everything in here and press select and operate. So you can see each time I'm going to click this, it will change the MIDI. So it's changing the velocity and the length of each note very slightly each time. However, if I up the velocity and the note length, we'll see a more drastic change, like that. However, we want it to be a bit more subtle. So we are just going to keep it at 10 for each of them, and it'll make it, well, it will certainly help make it sound more human. So again, we'll select all of these. We're just going to press it 4 times. I find that works quite well just because it's a plus or minus, so it might go up by 10 on the first one and down by 3 on the next. So it kind of evens out a bit more if you do it more times, but then we can go in afterwards and alter it more specifically. There we go. So as you can see, it's made our first note really hard and then the third one a little bit softer. So let's just have a listen to what it sounds like now. So it certainly sounds a bit more human. We've got those variations in the velocity, because even if we had all of these three notes the exact same and these last four the exact same, it still wouldn't sound realistic, whereas now it does sound a little bit more like it. However, as I said, we can tweak it a little bit now. So we can go in. I don't want this first note to hit this hard, so I'm just going to drop that back down a little bit. I don't want that one to be that soft, so just increase that a little. So as we had gone through and changed the velocities of our 3 different groups here, by changing the velocity and the note position ever so slightly, it's still well within that area for what we chose. So by doing this, it does now sound more human because we've changed it slightly, we've gone in and tweaked it a little bit to make it sound more how we want it to, and it sounds a little bit more random and a little bit more human. For other instruments like piano, drums, things like that, absolutely change the position, but just for this melody, I don't think it would necessarily work because for these kind of melodies you would want that to be very precise. Of course, the easiest way to make it sound realistic and human is to actually play it in on a MIDI keyboard, but of course if you don't have one or you have no keyboard skills, then this is certainly a good alternative. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment or contact me via my website. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.